Right, so I just wanted to mention, if you guys don't know about this resource, it's called azargrammar.com. We used to have the book. I don't know if that's the exact name of it, but anyway, azargrammar.com is a fantastic website. It actually has a oodle of leveled exercises, quizzes, PowerPoints, big professional PowerPoints of all the different grammars. But then it also has a PDF. I think it's on the home page. If you scroll over and look to the right, somewhere on the home page, you'll see a PDF version of Grammar Games. And it goes along with the Azar grammar books. So it's like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's a red one, a green, and I think a blue one. They're all downstairs. But the beauty of this little PDF is it has games to correspond with the different exercises in that book. So you can easily, and it has a nice index, so if you want a verb game, it's easy to go find it in there. And they're all laid out for you. Alright, so my favorite crazy VE class game, what I do, I just kind of created it myself, but I list the students' names at the beginning of class, and I usually do this near the end of the VE class, just because it's kind of this massive point game, and it's just a big time. We have a lot of fun with it. And I just make up a point system, and it kind of depends on what I taught in the class. But let's just say I always end up hitting the 8 parts of speech at some point in a VE class. I just always feel like it's fundamental. So I usually have 1 point, and the idea here is everybody's on their own team. Okay, and you have 2 different groups, but you're trying to get your own points. And by the way, I always give the winner first and second place bonus points on end grade for the class. Just to kind of heat it up a little bit. So you split them into 2 groups, but they're on their own team. So you have 2 people from each group come forward, and they're competing against each other, right? So come up, they get to, the winner stays. The winner stays. Okay, the loser goes and sits down, and it's a lot of fun. It's a hoot. So they come up and they'll say, okay, I want 1 point for parts of speech. So then I'll say something like, I'll give a definition. What names a person, place, thing, or idea? And the first person to say noun, right, gets 1 point. So then they get to write 1 point next to their name. And if they win, they stay. Next guy comes up, right? And so I just create fun category. Acting. Okay? And this is great too because they're at different levels, sometimes even in the same VE class. So some of them love to act stuff out. Draw a picture. And of course, their team over here is helping them, right? So if their team gets it, then they stay. And they get the points. They keep putting points by their name. And then at the end, we just tally up whoever wins. Draw a picture. Picture, draw. I don't know what I was thinking there. Acting, pictures, drawing. We usually have one where all you can do is speak, but you can't say the word in whatever you say. So I'll have the card set, and I'll stand like this with the 2 contestants, and I'll show them a word on the VE card. They have to talk until someone on their team guesses what the word is, but they can't say the word, right? It's kind of a picture. And then this is where the big points are. Some of them get a kick out of this. For 5 points, you have to use this. You have to use the word that I give you, show you, in a sentence. The first person to write a sentence using the word correctly, and I tell them I'm a crazy English teacher. You have something capitalized wrong. You don't put a period on there. Anything wrong. I'm not going to give it to you. And you give them like a time limit, like a minute, right? And they're writing furiously. At the end of the minute, you have them stop. And then what I usually do, if they don't get it, and someone doesn't get it, they usually do, but if they don't, I'll let one of them look at the other guy's sentence, and any mistakes they fix, they get a point for each mistake they can find and fix in the other guy's sentence, so they can still get a few points. But then if neither of them get it perfect, I make them both sit in. So they just kind of lose out. And then compound sentence, 10 points. And of course the big daddy, a complex sentence. And they always have so much fun with that. So that's one game I play with them at the end, just to kind of review and have fun. Anybody else have kind of their favorite game that always seems like it goes well and the students enjoy it?
Yeah, mine is really similar to that. It's if it's a SSP class, then I have all the vocab from the back of the SSP books. The students have written on little cards, so I have all the SSP vocab.
Okay.
And then I divide them up into describe it, spell it, act it, draw it.
Oh, nice,
But
okay.
I like the write it too, which, and so then like, three people come up and, okay, we're gonna do a bunch of describe it. And then
Okay.
I show them the word, they run back to their teams, they have to describe it, and whichever team
Nice,
gets the
yeah.
first gets the point. So it's
Okay.
a little simpler. That point system's complicated, I would get lost in that.
Sure.
But simply, the points are whichever team gets the word, gets the card, and that's the points. And then
Okay.
at the end, they just count.
And they just
it.
keep count cards.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Anybody else?
I think most of the games I do. Except for Tornado.
No, I
Ginger didn't know
Tornado.
Tornado.
Explain tornado. I was kind of trying to listen in, but what's tornado?
You just draw a grid on
Okay.
the board, like a 4x5 or a 4x4 or 5x5, whatever.
Okay.
You have time for the more squares, the more time it takes. On your sheet, you have the same thing drawn, but then on a choice, like if I do a 5x5, I have 5 tornadoes, I'll put
Yeah.
a T in the box.
Okay.
Only I get to see that. On the board, I just write 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, okay.
5. I put a number for each square. And then the students are divided into teams, and each team takes turns picking a square.
Okay.
Some of the squares have questions, and they have a point value. If they answer the question correctly, they get the points. But if they hit one with a tornado, all their points are wiped out.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
They
Yeah.
love it.
That sounds
And then
like
I'm
fun.
really loud and crazy, and you probably hear me whenever I
Oh,
play.
yeah. Yeah, I have to close my door.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a favorite that you do that's worked well?
It's
Mila?
not the favorite, but the game which kind of forces them to write the definition. So they prepare the cards at home, they write the word on one side, the definition on the other. So everybody has the same amount of cards, and then they play, they take turns. So for example, they read the definition, and if they guess the word, so they put the cards in the middle.
Okay.
So each of you, if you don't know the word, if you're confused, you get all the cards. So the one who gets rid of all the cards wins.
Nice. Okay.
Wait,
That's
can
a,
you, wait, that's
you say it again, you need a little more
Say that again.
explanation.
So, for example, like you write the word and the definition. So the word is on one side, the definition is on the other.
At
so
home,
then
they
you
do that?
at home, yes. So like, I mean, they can do it in class, but I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's for them maybe to look for something. Then we start playing the game. So they have the card. For example, I read the definition. Okay. So the word is face down. So you just read the definition. And then if you know the word, so you get rid of your card, you put it in the middle. So then the other player, it's the other player's turn. So here is the definition of his word. They all mixed the cards. And if he knows the definition, he puts the cards. The person who doesn't know the word, or he is confused, he gets all the cards.
Just
Okay,
pick them
so
all
he
up.
has to pick them all
Yeah.
up and reuse them? Do them
Yeah,
again? Or
yes,
just
and then they
keep them?
just, well, you can play again, you can just choose the word and then just give the definition, or you can use it in a sentence, for example. So
Okay.
it's just, because sometimes they just don't like to write, or it's kind of the way to write the word and the definition.
Yeah. Nice. Did you guys, anybody else want to say anything? There's some nice stuff on here. There's some examples of the different ideas on the back, by the way, just so you're aware, with other resources. They gave a nice list of references, and then they actually gave you some examples of different games you can play with a handout on the back, just so you're aware of it. All right, cool, man. Hey, okay, this is a crazy question. Do we usually get out of here at 10 or 10:30?
Before 10:30, I think it's generally the.
In my mind, I have 10:30, but I feel like
The students come at 10:30.
Yeah.
It's like 10, I think 10:15 maybe.
10:15, okay. So we're all right. All right. I got one more little activity and one more little discussion. All right. So you guys are together, okay? I'll let you be the team leader. I would like you to do a little skit, role play, okay? We're in BE class here.
Is it saying to read it?
Oh, I didn't know if I was supposed to read it or what.
Yeah, you guys are together. I want you to do a
So
skit.
do they need to know what's on here?
Yep, you got to talk about it, put it together, and do a little skit for us.